WLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Hello, everyone. I am Margie Taylor, and I am your host for Conroe Culture News, FM 104.5, 106.1 at Lone Star Community Radio in downtown Conroe in the Conroe Tower. We are also Facebook Live, Conroe Culture News. We're YouTube Live, and this will be put on our city TV at City of Conroe Cable TV. So our guests today are going to be both Annette Spikes and Bert Steinmann. They are board directors of the Conroe Symphony Orchestra. We're going to hear about their April 23rd concert, which is just coming up right around the corner. The Earth has music for those who listen. And in the second segment will be Kati Spears. She's the executive director of Bears, etc. And she also has an event April 23rd and 24th, Saturday and Sunday. Nothing like the orchestra. This involves wine tasting and beer drinking and a distillery. And it all goes to help fund an exotic pet sanctuary for bears and other animals in Montgomery County to help increase tourism and give the exotic animals a safe place to be. The show is sponsored by Roger Stein Chiropractic and Team Sinisi Real Estate Group. Roger Stein Chiropractic is located at 3033 West Davis by Conroe High School and Taco Bell. And they treat everyone from infants to seniors, weekend athletes to professionals with a focus on natural holistic healing to achieve optimal health. Dr. Stacy Rogers holds certifications in adjusting extremities, arms, legs, hands, feet, clinical nutrition, prenatal, and pediatric care. And if you're not a patient, it's only $25, and it all goes back to CASA that work with kids and CPS care. So that is Roger Stein Chiropractic, 3033 West Davis. Also, Team Sinisi Real Estate Group serves the greater Montgomery County as the best source for buying, selling, or investing in real estate. So, you need to get on it now. Interest rates are increasing, and, there's this whole fallacy about inventory. Well, actually, it's because it's a good time to buy. So if you're listing your house, call Team Sinisi. If you want to buy a home, you can call 281-507-9777, Team Sinisi, because it's an easy name to remember. So, a few things happening around us. The free First Thursday concert is back this Thursday, hosted by the City of Conroe at Heritage Park, and they will have the music of the Dirty River Boys starting at 7 p.m. And it's absolutely free. You can bring your coolers, non-alcoholic beverages, food for a picnic, your lawn chairs. Beer and wine are available inside the park for purchase, and there are food trucks as well. Entertainment downtown this week includes the second week of the Neil Simon comedy, The Dinner Party at the Crichton Theater, and you can listen to live music at the Red Brick Tavern, Pacific Yard House, Friday and Saturday nights, and you can go and have Gospel Sunday brunch to the music of the Jim Sloan Trio at the Red Brick Tavern starting at 10:30 a.m. and goes till 2 p.m. This Saturday, April 16th, will be 2 weeks before the global release of Breaking Strongholds. Episodes 1 and 2 will premiere in Montgomery, with the gates opening at 3:30 p.m. So go and check that out, and it will be on a 200-square-foot LED screen, and there will be guided tours of the film location with the actors and a VIP lounge. It's absolutely free, but you have to register to get tickets at breakingstrongholds.com. Need a break? Everybody needs a break. I need a break. Go to Margaritaville, Lake Conroe. They're hosting a wellness weekend retreat for self-care through yoga, meditation, digestive health class, and other wellness activities, and to integrate into your busy lifestyle. Book your retreat. Go on to Margaritaville Lake Conroe website and find out more. They also have an Easter brunch this Sunday. And yes, Easter is this Sunday. It is moved that fast. Can you believe that? This is Holy Week. But you can go also and find out about their Easter brunch, and it will have rosemary lamb, slow roasted pork, southern style grits bar. I've never heard of that before, a grits bar. So with all the fixing, kind of like when you get potato bar or a candy bar. Well, there's a grits bar, and apparently it's very good. And they have a new executive chef, Bailey, so I'm sure it will be fantastic. And they're going to have a petting zoo outside for the kids as well, right by the lake. So you can view that. You can let the kids go play with animals while you sip on mimosas inside, and the Easter Bunny will be there too. So we are going to hear from the Conroe Symphony Orchestra today, but they are also featured, and they're going to tell us a little bit about their concert on Saturday, April 23rd at the West Conroe Baptist Church, beginning at 7:30. And then we're going to hear from Bears, etc. But you need to save the date for Kids Fest. Yes, Kids Fest is back. The last weekend in April 30th from 10 to 5. More fun, blocks and blocks of fun in downtown Conroe, and this is hosted by the city of Conroe. There will be a lot of hands-on activities, interactive villages, stage acts, and all of that. And you don't have to register, you don't have to do anything, you just have to show up. So with that, we're going to take a quick break and then hear from our guests, Bert Steinmann and Annette Spikes, about the Conroe Symphony Orchestra.
Since 2004, Stein Chiropractic has offered spine and joint manipulation services to residents of Montgomery County and surrounding areas. Conditions treated include lower back pain, migraines, headaches, whiplash, carpal tunnel, neck pain, sciatica, joint pain, sports injuries, herniated discs, and complications from pregnancy. Stein Chiropractic, led by Dr. Stacy Rogers and Dr. Brian McGee, is an integrity-verified chiropractic clinic. Call 936-441-9990 for an appointment or visit rogerssteinchiropractic.com. That's RODGERSSTEIN chiropractic.com.
Team Sinisi is a proud sponsor of Conroe Culture News. Vinny Sinisi and his professional team provide comprehensive real estate services throughout the greater Montgomery County area and beyond. Whether looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, Team Sinisi has an impeccable reputation. Contact Team Sinisi for a great experience at teamsinisi.com. That's TEAMSINISI.com.
We are on our first segment today, and I have folks from the Conroe Symphony Orchestra. Annette Spikes, she's the secretary of the Conroe Symphony Orchestra, and a board member, Bert Steinmann, are here to tell us about what's going on with the symphony. So welcome, both of you, to Conroe Culture News today.
Thank you.
And I think it's going to be a great time for your concert. You're already selling tickets. Annette, can you tell me a little bit about the next concert that's coming up on April 23rd?
Yes, it's going to be at West Conroe Baptist Church. We are so grateful to the churches for lending us their facility to have a concert. I particularly like the title of this one. The Earth Has Music If Only One Will Listen.
For those who listen.
For those who listen. And it's being conducted by a guest conductor, Dr. Kayoko Dan, who is on staff at Sam Houston State and is in charge of their orchestral program. But that week is Earth Week, so it's a perfect title for the concert. I don't know, I don't have a list of the selections, but
a list somewhere?
It should be a beautiful concert talking about the earth.
Apparently I don't have the list. But anyway, yes,
Okay.
It's the mountains, the lakes, the river,
Yes.
all of that, all about nature and spring.
And I think it'll be really interesting because you really do have to listen. I love just going outside and listening to the birds or listening to the wind or if
It's
I'm
relaxing.
around water. It's very. And so the earth provides music for us too, if only we listen. So I love that
I love
title.
it. It's
Yeah.
very reflective.
And the concert will be at 7:30. Again, we thank West Conroe Baptist so much for hosting us and letting us use their sanctuary for that concert.
And it's actually a very beautiful facility that they have there at West Conroe. They've got it set up so that they have the full orchestra. They've got the full screens. I mean, it's just everything that you would need to be able to have a full orchestra performance. The one thing that you didn't mention was that it's also very kid-friendly, in so much as we're going to have at least one event or one activity for the children so that they can create, I believe, a musical instrument to play along with one of the songs.
They are, and they're going to use natural things for those instruments, so that ought to be fun.
What kind of natural things? What is it?
Well, like pine
feel
cones in a cylinder
yes.
and sticks that they can beat together.
Very interactive, yes.
Yeah, yes.
That's fun. Kids will enjoy that. I think adults enjoy that too. You know?
Well, possibly, not sure what Dr. Dan has said about that, but it's possible that they would play along with one of the selections, the orchestras.
That's
play.
what I understand when I wrote up the article for her, that she put a quote about that in hopes that the kids participate and come down, you know, like on the stage, and just to make it a great experience for them, and they can learn more about the orchestra. And speaking of that, I know you also have a youth orchestra too, right? So kids can learn to be a part of that, which we can touch on in a few minutes. But I think I'm very excited about this concert because it's something different, right? I mean, do you normally have concerts in April?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah,
But we haven't had one with this theme before.
Well, you know, we've been 2 years not doing anything.
True.
COVID was not very kind to us. And so we've just kind of been, you know, level. But we're getting started again. And so we had a concert in October, December, February, and now April. And those are the usual months that we have concerts, and then we always have a patriotic concert for
Which is very
July.
dynamic. It's fabulous. I remember
well,
the one
and
last year at Heritage
and it's
Park.
free to the public. You know, that's our gift to the public, is to have a patriotic concert that everybody can come together for.
I love it.
Generally, each concert, we actually sit down and come up with a theme, then we turn that over to the orchestra to try and come up with music that follows that particular theme. So with the exception, I think, of probably the patriotic concert, we generally have a different theme each time.
Yeah, I think this year's theme would be Stars, Stripes, and Symphony.
Well, I know in February it was like love songs.
Yes, and it was at Mims Baptist, and so beautiful, beautiful concert. Our guest conductor for that was Darla McBride, who is also on staff at Sam Houston. She did a fantastic job, and it was a beautiful concert.
So it's kind of fun having all these different guest conductors too, because they have different ways of performing and leading the orchestra. Is that right, Bert?
Yes, ma'am. It's kind of a double-edged sword, in so much as everybody gets to see a different type of orchestra style or directing style. At the same time, I think probably in the next season we're going to move towards trying to have just one single, orchestra conductor, just so everyone knows what to expect, and everything will be kind of in the same style. So we've been experimenting with this a lot during COVID because of, COVID. And then trying, like I say, to keep these performances going over the last year or so. That's probably why we've done most of the guest conductors at this point. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, I do. And it has been interesting. And not only from the audience standpoint, but from the players, the musicians. They have really enjoyed having different conductors and seeing
They all
their
have a different
styles.
style.
They do. So it's been a good experience for them. It's been a good experience for the audience, and we've had some lovely guest conductors. As Bert just mentioned, we're at the point that we're going to be getting a full-time permanent conductor, but I thought it spoke very well of the musicians, because all of the guests we have had applied for the job, and they loved working with the orchestra.
very complimentary
Yeah,
that they
it
did.
was. It was.
Very nice. Now, I know you had a conductor for many years.
Yeah,
How
10
long?
plus years.
Yes.
Dr. Don Hudson.
And he was amazing.
He was.
He was amazing.
He was.
But all good things end sometimes.
Well, that we all need change at some point in time. We were fortunate to have him as long as we did.
But he's still involved, right?
Yes, he's still interested in. However, he has a business too that he has to take care of, and so we just get him when we can.
Now, have either of you played in an orchestra before?
Yes.
You hesitated there, Bert.
Well, some of the members of the orchestra and I actually were in band together back in the 1980s.
Wow, that's cool.
At Conroe High School, we
Yeah.
went to the Rose Bowl parade. I then participated in band all the way through college, but have not picked up a horn in probably 20 years.
So you can understand where they're coming from anyway, having been a part of an orchestra before. or
Absolutely,
band.
and I've had great conductors, and I've had conductors that you were just waiting for the performance to be over. So
Well, some are very dynamic and get very involved and use their arms and jump and get all that, right? And some are a little bit more reserved.
I'd say
so to
dynamic's a
speak.
very nice way to explain something.
Well, yes, I've seen different ones. And Annette, have you played an instrument before?
Well, I played the piano, but
Piano's good. You
Well,
sounded
it is.
regretfully when you said that.
except I could not play with the orchestra. They're a little bit more advanced than I am. And I just have a God-given talent that I can play most of what I hear, but I could not play the concertos that they play, and so
But you still enjoy
I
it?
enjoy it. I have a piano. I play it to myself and have concerts all the time in my house for Annette.
Okay, well, and music does something. Music changes you. It helps with memories. Music brings you back to a time when you hear things. Is that right, Bert? I mean, there's a lot of things about music. What would we do without music?
Well, I think the whole purpose of music is basically to evoke emotion and to draw out on the human experience. I mean, there's nothing that you can listen to when two notes are played together that doesn't cause some type of response in most people.
So this concert, The Earth Has Music for Those Who Listen, will help us remember different things, whether it's the sound of maybe rain in the river and how water moves, or something else that you hear as you're walking through the woods, something like that.
And I suspect that Dr. Dan will explain the pieces so that the audience can be listening for that waterfall or whatever. And the graphics that were done for this concert are as soothing as the music will be. I thought the graphics for the April concert are beautiful.
The artwork
Blues
that's
and
been used on the
greens.
website and social
Right.
media, yes. It's very soothing.
So it adds to what I expect the concert to be.
Well, it sounds fabulous, and I know you can go on your website to get tickets, and that's conroesymphony.org, and you can just hit on the information about the concert and see the graphic, and that will lead you to where you can go and you can purchase tickets and find out a little bit about the guest conductor, Dr. Dan, and all of her experience. So you also have, just following that, a spring fling. You want to tell me about that?
I will. Let me back up and say you can buy tickets at the door as
yes.
well. And the spring, we have a volunteer committee, the Friends of the Symphony, and they're kind of responsible for fundraising and providing volunteers at the concerts. And so they are having a spring fling May the 1st at Amore on Lake Conroe, and it is a fundraiser. Last patriotic concert, we had a painter there who did 2 large paintings. They're about 4 by 6 or.
It's one of those speed painters.
Yeah,
It was
speed
fabulous. It was
painters.
pretty amazing how
Yeah.
they were painting, and then they flipped it over and flipped it different ways.
It was so entertaining to watch them working upside down. Those 2 paintings are going to be auctioned at this spring fling.
Okay.
So anyone interested in placing a bid for those, you're welcome to come out to Amore's. The tickets are $75 because it is a fundraiser. So we're so grateful to have the Friends of the Symphony organized and doing this. This is the first fundraiser we've had in about 3 years. So we were without ticket sales or any kind of revenue for 2
That's
years.
hurtful.
So it's very hurtful. And so this is going to be to kind of make up for the time that we haven't been able to sell tickets or anything else. But it will be from 3 to 5 at Amore. I have information, but Margie has information.
It will also be
at
on the
where you can
website,
come.
yes.
Yeah, and it's on the website, right.
Will there be music?
Yes.
Of course.
Shockingly enough.
Yes.
Yes, there'll be an ensemble there playing of maybe our flute ensemble. I'm not sure, but yes, there will be music.
Perfect.
But there's also sponsorships available for not only that event, but also one of the things I think is, I guess, the most meaningful to me is that you can actually sponsor a chair in the orchestra. So your name is attached to that. The person who sits in that chair is made aware that you're their sponsor. We have an event coming up prior to the concert where the chair sponsors will actually be able to meet the people they're sponsoring. And it's just something, if you have a special memory of a parent, grandparent, or even if you played in the orchestra or any musical instrument, to sponsor someone that plays that instrument, I think just brings you a little bit closer to the orchestra.
I wasn't aware of that. How did they
it
go ahead and
does.
do? How did they do that?
And well, people, I think it's $1,000 a chair. Now the money doesn't go to that musician, but it goes to the orchestra. And I'm not sure how many. I think we may have 10 or so chair sponsors, but it really does forge a relationship between that musician and the person who sponsors the chair. I sponsor a young lady who plays the violin or viola. She plays viola, I think. And so at every concert, she always finds me in the audience and comes out, and
So you have a
we talk
relationship,
during
yeah.
the intermission, and it's a really nice relationship. You know, we have 60 to 65 from time to time, and so it's impossible to get to know everybody, but if you can just, get to know a few of them, it's very meaningful.
But you can go online on the website. It allows you to be able to make your donation, and then in the comment section for your donation, you can decide, what instrument and what chair that you want to sponsor. I intend eventually to actually get maybe the first chair, cornet or trumpet for my mother, who was in band for years. So.
I like that. I like that a lot. That's very nice.
And it is permanent, so it's just something that will always be with the symphony orchestra.
So is this something you do for each individual concert then, or
No,
overall?
It's overall. Well, I mean, you can do it any time, but there's kind of a
So is it an annual
time,
sponsorship?
it's annual.
How does it work? Annual?
Yes, it's annual.
Okay.
And we're reminded at the beginning of the season, or asked if we want to sponsor a chair again, and most people do. But it can be done at any time that anyone was interested in doing that. And their names printed in the programs and probably on the screen when we have access to a digital screen when we have a concert.
Like in the upcoming concert, I know that they've got screens at the church, and so not only will we list the members, but we'll also list the chair sponsors.
That's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
I was not aware of that. So how does someone get involved in Friends of the Symphony?
Well, did I give you?
They could go to the
there-
Amore and
they
find
can-
out.
Yeah, but also there's a
It's on the
There's a
website.
link.
email. It's FOS. That's Friends of Symphony. conrosymphony@gmail.com. And they could, go to that email, or I have
Find out when they meet and
I
so
have
forth.
a number also. If anybody wants to jot it down, it's 936-203-2128. And you have the opportunity to volunteer at the concerts, or just be helpful in some way. The Friends of the Symphony provide refreshments for the orchestra at dress rehearsal. All of the members have jobs. All of the orchestra
And this is not a
members.
paid thing. They're all volunteers,
All
right?
volunteers, yes.
For their performances and their rehearsals, all of that.
And so the Friends provide a meal for them, or a snacky kind of meal at dress rehearsal. And so that's been an important thing that they do.
Sure.
So they just take care of all the volunteer things that's needed, and there's a lot of volunteers that are needed. So anybody interested
There's
would
a
be
spot for
welcome.
you.
That's right.
And like I say, they're the ones that are putting on the Amore
Yes.
fundraiser.
Yes.
I know they've raised, I think, over $10,000 or so just in that
They
particular event.
have. They have.
That's good. That's good.
Just in
Much needed funds.
sponsorships. So those ladies are really working hard to get us back
And that's
to
May
where we
the
were.
1st. May the 1st.
Yeah, from
3 to 5.
3 to 5, yes.
And it's also on the website, conrosymphony.org.
Right.
And I believe there's also a link to the Friends of the Symphony on our website.
Yes, there is.
Yes.
I happen to know that.
A lot of people just want to click nowadays
Yep,
instead of
I
trying to
know,
remember
I know.
numbers and addresses.
So
That's
what
a-
we haven't talked about is the Conroe Youth Orchestra. So they are meeting again, too, on Sundays.
Yes, ma'am.
They are, and that's an important part of the symphony, because we have to have youth who are interested and can play an instrument to fill in those spots in the orchestra later on. So we have a couple who are working with the youth orchestra. They've just reorganized just 2 or 3 weeks ago, but there's more and more interest. Every week they meet on Sunday.
Sundays,
Uh-huh.
4 to 5:30 at the Conroe Symphony Center.
Right. So anybody with a student that would be interested in getting more training, we welcome them.
And one of the reasons that's important is in most of the high schools, if you're in band, you spend half a season doing marching band, which is very different than playing in a symphony orchestra. And so if you only have one semester of symphony in high school or in your junior highs, that literally leaves you another 9 months that you're not performing. And so that allows them to be able to pursue their choice
Sharpen
of
their
music,
tool.
be able to get ready for college applications, have nice things to put on their resumes, and we have.
And they might enjoy it.
Right. Nobody enjoys getting ready for college anymore, I don't think.
No, but I mean, if you're musically inclined and it keeps you playing your instrument, it keeps you focused in that whole mode, so to speak.
And they have a couple of concerts, during the year. There may be one at the end of this semester. So that's great. That's great experience for the kids, and it certainly brings lots of pride to the parents and the
Of
grandparents.
course it does.
And
Yes.
so we're really excited to see the youth orchestra get reorganized and started again.
And one of the instructors there is Stephanie Sears. She's literally been playing an instrument for, good Lord, 40 some odd years, I think now. She's going to kill me for saying that out loud, I think. But she was also in the band that I was telling you about that went to the Rose Bowl Parade back in like 85.
Back with you.
Yeah. So that's how long
So
she's
y'all
been
have been
playing.
friends a long time.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
and she's a charter member. There's 3 or 4 charter members in the orchestra that are still playing, and we're right there from the very beginning. And we couldn't do without Stephanie. She's just she does everything, and just
she moves all the equipment around. She's in charge of getting all the chairs and the lighting and the microphones.
She's a good leader.
And everything for not only the
She
Conroe
is.
Symphony Orchestra, but for the youth orchestra.
So,
And then-
and she's devoting Sundays to doing this, which is a lot too.
And when did the Symphony Orchestra, Conroe Symphony Orchestra, start? Was that 90?
It's this year they started in 1997, and so the 22-23 season is going to be their 25th year.
That's
So,
fabulous. And maybe someday you'll have a place of your own, a venue to
we
perform.
hope, that
It's in the works, right?
That's right. The
in the
city
works.
is looking at that possibility. So we are hoping that that's going to be a reality one of these days soon.
So you can find out all the information by going to conroesymphony.org. You can get your tickets. You can find out about the Friends of the Symphony and their event at Amore. You can find out about the youth orchestra, all of that. Or you can go to the Facebook page, which is Conroe Symphony Orchestra, and find out all the same details.
Okay. Thanks
So,
for having
and that's
us,
April
Margie.
23rd. That's not this weekend, but the following weekend. So it's
Right.
not Easter, but the
So
one
it's-
after Easter.
it's
There is
on
stuff
a
that happens after Easter.
that
So
Saturday.
it's just 2 weekends away.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it should be a fabulous concert.
Well, we are planning on it being, and thank you for having us today.
Thank you both for being on the show today.
Thank
you,
you.
ma'am.
Since 2004, Stein Chiropractic has offered spine and joint manipulation services to residents of Montgomery County and surrounding areas. Conditions treated include lower back pain, migraines, headaches, whiplash, carpal tunnel, neck pain, sciatica, joint pain, sports injuries, herniated discs, and complications from pregnancy. Stein Chiropractic, led by Dr. Stacy Rogers and Dr. Brian McGee, is an integrity-verified chiropractic clinic. Call 936-441-9990 for an appointment or visit RogersSteinChiropractic.com. That's RODGERSSTEIN chiropractic.com.
Team Sinisi is a proud sponsor of Conroe Culture News. Vinny Sinisi and his professional team provide comprehensive real estate services throughout the greater Montgomery County area and beyond. Whether looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, Team Sinisi has an impeccable reputation. Contact Team Sinisi for a great experience at teamsinisi.com. That's TEAMSINISI.com.
A Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show, with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776 to take your first step into the radio world.
Have a legal question? Are you a resident of Montgomery County? Call 281-645-6344 to talk to a volunteer attorney from the Woodlands Bar Association. We answer the phones on the first Monday of every month at 281-645-6344 from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. to provide general legal information and information about legal resources to Montgomery County residents.
And And we are back with our second episode today, our second segment. Kati Spears is the executive director of Bears, Etc. If you haven't heard of Kati and Bears, Etc., I don't know where you've been.
Under a rock.
Apparently, your nonprofit is how old now?
Oh, we're 5 years old.
5 years old. I thought it was
Yay!
5. Yay. So I remember you came on before you were actually even a nonprofit. So you've been coming on the radio for years.
Yes.
Years, literally. Probably the same amount of time I've been doing this, 6 years. So it is a nonprofit, and it's all about rescuing animals from the exotic pet trade and giving them a piece of the wild.
Yes. The
Correct?
PEACE that comes
Peace,
with being out
as
in
in
nature.
peace sign.
Yes.
Peace sign.
Yes.
So
Allowing them to be what they're supposed to be.
So it's Bears, Etc., but it's also the exotic animal trade.
Right. So finding out that bears are the least served in the exotic pet trade, that's why our focus is that. There's no true bear sanctuary pulling bears from the exotic pet trade currently in the U.S. So we're building the first of its kind.
And there's bears roaming all over that are endangered?
Well, yes and no. So the exotic pet trade, you can find breeders of anything: bears, tigers, lions, quadrimundis, sloths in the U.S. and they sell them to the lay person for anywhere. Like a bear cub is $300 to $500. A tiger, is more like $1,000, but they're easily accessible. And in the state of Texas, a large dangerous carnivore only requires a $50 permit. And so then these animals grow up, and then they're like, now what do I do with it? Because it doesn't listen to me like a dog or a cat, or it eats me out of house and home because a bear will eat 40 pounds of produce a day. What do we do with them? So currently we're helping to move them to facilities that maybe have room. We've assisted in the placement or movement of 9 bears currently, but over 100 exotic animals from across the U.S. We actually took a savanna cat from Florida to Oregon this past year. So, yeah. And it's,
So
it's an epidemic in the U.S.
do you think that someone may have a bear or a tiger or a sloth in their home in the greater Houston area?
Oh, yes. There are a couple different pet stores in the area that
Pet stores have these?
that sell exotics to you. Yes. And there is an exotic animal auction the second Friday of every month up north of Huntsville. There
Really?
was a lemur auctioned off this past Friday. So
Did
yeah,
you go
can
and
get-
find out about it?
Did I go?
How do you go to those things and protest or?
I don't go and protest, but I do keep my thumb on the pulse of what's happening, either myself or through other volunteers or other animal advocates across the state.
Wow, I did not know this. Okay, so being that you're an advocate for all animals, great and small, basically, you are having a fundraiser, actually the same Saturday as the orchestra, April
Yes.
23rd.
Yeah.
So you can go and have fun doing wine tasting or
Yes.
tasting beer or go to the distillery and then go to the
Right.
concert.
And then go to the concert. Yes. So from 12 to 6 on Saturday and Sunday, we're hosting our bear crawl. This is our second bear crawl. It became birthed because of COVID. People go at their own pace to the locations that they want to go to, and they get to sample 2 samples at each location. And keep in mind that our locations don't necessarily give you sample pours. It may be a little bit more. So plan your weekend accordingly. But we
You
have
need a
8
DD.
locations. Yeah. We have 8 locations because there's 8 species of bears. So those locations include Bartlett's Distillery, the Firm Meadery, Foss Brewing, Blue Epiphany, B52, H Wines, which if you haven't been to H Wines,
They're really good.
yeah.
They're French.
yes, they are a couple of French guys. Steve is hysterical, and they have their PhD in winemaking. So they can just like I can talk about bears, they talk about wine, and they can tell you all of the intricate things that go into winemaking. So they're pretty amazing. Whitley Vineyards and Frankenbolts. And if you haven't been out to Frankenbolt's, it sounds like they're far away because they're out just on the west side of Montgomery, and their address is Dobbin, but don't be scared. It's not that far away. But they, oh my gosh,
They're
their
really good.
story is interesting too, and they make some great beer.
So it sounds like a lot of fun. And the Firm Meadery, that's in downtown Conroe, they have
Yes.
great wine.
Oh my gosh, their
All made from
hibiscus
honey.
mead is delicious. That's my favorite thing there. And their barnhouse or barn door charcuterie board. Oh my gosh, some delicious stuff on that. Just
yeah, and you
saying.
probably should eat a little bit while
Yes.
you're drinking.
Yes.
Just saying.
Yeah.
So you can get tickets for just $50.
Yeah, $50 for 2 tastings at 8 locations. It's quite the deal because, like I said, their pours are a little bit more than tastings should be, but they want you to come and have a great time at their facility or at their business. And so, and everybody does. Last year's bear crawl, everybody's like, oh my gosh, why haven't you done this before? And I was like, well, before COVID, we could just have it at one location and have everybody come there. And so when they were the hardest hit during the shutdown, because it took them longer for them to be able to open up, right? So we're like, let's help some of the businesses in our community
And they're all
by
small
doing this.
businesses,
Yeah,
too.
they're all small
They're all
business
very small.
owners.
So Blue Epiphany, this is not the one downtown. This
No,
is
it'll be out at their location on
big
their
location.
property. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's fun, and they might even have live music. Some of these have live music
Mm-hmm.
while this is going on as well. So Bartlett's Distillery is the one probably a lot of people aren't familiar with because that's out Airport Road.
Yeah.
And he's been going strong for a few years now,
Yes.
seems like.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we love it out there. That's my favorite.
That's
the
your
rum
favorite
and
one.
whiskey.
Yeah, and you can see where they actually make it.
Yes. Yep.
They'll
It's
give you
right
a
on
little
site.
tour.
So
And H Wines, they're not open on. No, wait a minute, not H Wines. It
So
was
Bartlett's
Wrigley.
Bartlett's is only open on Saturday due to state laws, and then Whitley Vineyards is only open on Sunday. So plan your trip accordingly. If you can hit the Conroe locations on Saturday and then the Montgomery side locations on Sunday, that works it out, and then you don't have to worry about consuming so much alcohol. But we hope too that you go in there and you find something you like and you purchase it from them too.
Oh,
you know.
absolutely. That seems to happen a
yourself
lot
a
when
whole
you go
jug
and
of,
you try tasting things.
Yeah, hibiscus mead from the from Meadery.
So you get the tastings, and you also get a little souvenir glass with a little bear
While
on
supplies last.
it. Yes, and so that's a lot of fun. But the whole idea is to help fund an animal sanctuary.
Correct. So while we are the experts in Southeast Texas for exotic animal rescue, and we currently house several animals, not bears, on a half an acre because we don't have enough room, all of the proceeds from this go into our capital campaign that is helping us to purchase land to build the nation's first bear sanctuary focused on bears out of the exotic pet trade
In Montgomery County.
in Montgomery County. Yes.
So do you have to have a special license to do that?
You do. Surprisingly, Montgomery County, Harris County, and the counties around a lot of your big cities have stronger exotic animal laws versus Grimes County, Walker County, San Jacinto County that don't necessarily have any laws regarding exotic animal ownership. So that's why we're specific with the 20 acres that we need. We can't build within a mile of a school, and we can't build within 1,000 feet of somebody's home. So that's why we need that buffer, and that 20 acres is the minimum to house these guys on. Plus habitat size. We don't want them to go from a dog kennel to a larger dog kennel. We want to give them that piece of the wild so they can be the
Roam.
bear that they, yes. So 2 to 5 acre habitats is the goal.
With trees and wilderness.
With all natural
and all
habitat
of
in them.
That.
Yep.
So not cleared land. You'd
Nope.
prefer something that was
Yep.
just undeveloped.
Piney Woods is perfect for bears.
Maybe in the Sam Houston forest over there.
Perhaps.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
A donation would be good too.
A
huh?
donation would be absolutely wonderful. Yes.
Wow.
That would be great.
So in your plan of having the exotic animal bear sanctuary, how would you start it up? Do you have a plan of what this looks like and like an educational center and all of that in your mind going on?
Right, and we actually have mock-ups of that. If you come out to anywhere we have an event or a booth space, we have those pictures available to you to see the educational center and conference center, so people can have, corporations can have corporate parties or even weddings, with a window into a bear habitat, and we can feed the bears right in front of the window so the bear can be a part of whatever you're doing that day. So we have on-site cabins as a part of that plan, so people can come and stay the weekends, so we can draw people from all over the world to come stay with us and shop in our shops and eat in our restaurants.
And the bears are just roaming?
They're in their habitats. They're 2 to 5 acre habitats.
Okay.
So, and the cabins are not in the habitats.
Okay, just asking, because I remember as a kid going to Yosemite
Yeah.
and staying in tents.
Yes.
And we're told not to bring cookies inside, but
Correct.
we, of course, did. And
Yes.
there's bears on the tent.
Right.
So that isn't what
so
I'm
you should have
picturing
taken
here.
my bear awareness course.
Tell me about bear awareness. Tell me about that.
So my bear awareness course is what to do when you're in bear country. Do you have bear spray? Do you know how to use it? Do you know?
Where do you get bear spray?
You can get it from REI. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it at all
Academy?
kinds of outdoor places. Yes, Academy.
Huh.
This Academy may not carry it because we don't have bears here yet.
You don't
They
need
are
it in
moving-
your handbag as you go
but
downtown.
if you are, going, then definitely reach out and let me know, and I can give you a bear awareness course to your group. So don't have peanut butter in your car. Make sure you clean out your car. Have your car detailed before you drive up to bear country, because they can actually either open your door if you leave it unlocked or break open your door if it's locked.
Wow.
So,
What
yeah.
else do they like to eat?
They like people food. Once they have a taste of it, that's why they say don't feed the bears.
I'm
and-
picturing Yogi Bear in the picnic basket.
I mean, it's exactly true. Like when he's rating people's, that's exactly
Boo-boo.
right. And the mom bears teach the cubs where to eat and where the good food is. So if she finds a resource that people are leaving the campgrounds dirty, then she's going to keep going back to that campground because there's a food source available. They're very lazy and opportunistic. So yeah, they're going to go where the easiest food source is. And a lot of times that's people. So make sure you're throwing stuff away and keeping your car cleaned out.
So if you run against a bear, like somewhere, let's say you're going for a hike somewhere and it says watch for bears, and you see a bear, what do you do?
So depending on how far away it is, I use the rule of thumb. And for those of you who aren't watching this on YouTube or Facebook, put out your thumb and put it over the bear. If the bear outlines your thumb, then you are too close to the bear. Slowly back
So
up.
Dick is too close to me
Dick
if he
is
was
too
a
close
bear.
to you for personal space for a bear. If your thumb outlines, you probably want to turn it sideways if the bear isn't standing up to take a good look at you sideways. And if your thumb is surrounding the bear as you look at it, then you are far enough away that the bear isn't going to feel threatened per se, unless it's a mom with cubs. So that's a totally different scenario. But you're far enough away that you could take pictures, and stuff like that, and then safely, walk away. But more than likely, they're going to smell you before they see you, because they have really, really good senses of smell. They want to avoid you at all costs, basically. Making sure that you're respectful of them, making sure you're paying attention, that if you see bear poop on the ground, that there's a bear, close by and stuff like that. But if you're doing all of the things that I teach you with the having conversations and not being quiet, and stuff like that.
So make noise as
Make
you walk.
noise, yeah, as you're going. Have a conversation with the people you're with. Don't go alone. Don't wear your earbuds so you're not paying attention to your surroundings. You're listening to your podcast or your favorite song. Like, those are when people get in trouble. So, and they I don't know where it came from. Like, it just appeared out of nowhere, and then people get hurt. Whereas if you're doing all of the things that you're supposed to and being bear aware, then you're going to be safe.
Do you do the thing where you play dead with bears?
Sometimes, depending on the situation. So make sure you cover, but hopefully you're not close.
You're not
going to
be in
have
that
to play
situation.
dead. Yeah. Yep.
Have you ever been in that situation?
I have not. I have actually never been able to see a bear in the wild. I was so close
Really?
when I was in Colorado. Yeah. And we went to Tennessee a couple weekends ago, which they're not necessarily awake right now in Tennessee yet, but I was hoping because
You need to go to Alaska.
Well, yeah, we want to do an ecotourism trip as a fundraiser and go to
Yes.
Alaska and see the spirit bears, the white black bears. They're
Oh, my
amazing
goodness.
and highly protected, but
So
that's on my bucket list.
You're going to
go
do the
see.
fundraiser for bears, etc., and you're going
Yes.
to have that trip.
Yeah.
Okay, that's in the works.
I know a company that does tourism.
Oh, yes.
That
yes.
can put the trip together for us.
I know that company too, as a matter of fact. Okay, so back to where we're talking about. So you have rescued all kinds of animals.
Yes. So on
Turtles, birds,
yes,
bears, tigers.
Yes. I've worked with chimpanzees, alligators, bears, wolves, lions, tigers, leopards, cougars, all different kinds of primates, monkeys, and stuff like that. Coati-mundis, kinkajous.
What do you have at your house?
So currently, we have an aviary full of parakeets in our backyard. And that was from a rescue where a religious organization released over 100 parakeets as a part of a good luck and good fortune for the year ceremony. And what happens is when we think early on with COVID, they talked about someone eating a pangolin or a bat. Over in Asian cultures, they have what's called the wet markets, where they poach animals from the wild. They bring them in, and you can buy them for like soups and stews and stuff like that, and people eat them. Well, over there, people go and purchase them to release them back into the wild. Well, we don't have those wet markets here, so we have pet stores. And so they went to the pet store, and they purchased a bunch of birds, and they released them into a park. Well, parakeets aren't a native species, and they can carry diseases that our native birds can then catch and stuff. So, and these were just baby parakeets, and it was the middle of February, so there's no food sources available for them to begin with. And we were able to save 51 of those parakeets.
And they're at your house?
Yes, they're in our backyard in an aviary.
Okay,
So,
and you have turtles?
we have turtles and tortoises, Maleuromastics, which is kind of like a bearded dragon, and we have some other small parrots as well. Yep. And then we also,
and you have dogs?
Outside of bears, etc., we do foster dogs for several organizations in our community, just one at a time.
So how long does it take you to feed all the animals?
I actually have volunteers that come and help me, so that's really great. It does take a couple hours a day in order to take care of all of them.
So you don't go away much?
No, we don't.
Wow. Okay, so let's review. The annual bear crawl is Saturday, April 23rd and Sunday, April 24th from noon to 6. Wine, beer, whiskey tasting from 8 local venues. And you can get tickets online at bearsetc.org. That's bearsetc.org. And you can click on the picture, or you can go to the Facebook page that will basically take you to the same place.
Yep.
So just go to the website, bearsetc.org, to buy the tickets. They're only $50. You'll get a souvenir glass, a passport saying, yes, you've been to the Firm Meadery or Frankenbolt's, because you can only get 2 samples from each. You can't keep going back.
Correct.
And back. So they will stamp that, and you'll get a wristband. Can you also buy the tickets at individual locations?
No, they're all on our website.
They're all okay.
So you can buy them day of. We'll have a QR code. You scan it. Opens
So
up on your phone.
they could do it at the individual locations during the event.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And this will help with a new exotic animal sanctuary.
Yeah, it'll be great. I can't wait.
Bears and all kinds of animals.
Yes.
What am I missing? Anything?
I think that's basically it. This we're very excited for this, and especially to have Foss Brewing with us this year.
Oh, yes,
because they're a
that's
brand
new
new organization, so we want to love on them a little bit. I have yet to be there, so I will come, I promise. But yeah, it's really great, and all of this to help the abused and neglected animals.
So you're the bear lady, bear earrings, bear T-shirt,
Yes.
bear necklace. What am I missing now? You're all bared out.
Yep, I'm branded.
You are branded.
Yes, very much so. But not only this, but I serve in the community as well, right? Because I love this community. So I sit on the board of the Montgomery Chamber of Commerce. I am their board chair, and I'm on the diplomat team. I just came from a diplomat meeting at the Conroe Chamber.
Conroe?
So I love this community and love giving back, and so come out and support us as we support
You're
others.
also on other animal boards.
Yes, I sit on the board. I'm the vice chair on the Texas Black Bear Alliance. So we're working with Texas Parks and Wildlife to help educate people and assist in potentially bringing bears back into Texas. They're slowly coming in from Louisiana. So in helping to track those animals. And the closest one that we've caught so far on game cam is over in Kuntz, over by Big Bend. So that's exciting. I also sit on the advocacy committee for the Big Cat Sanctuary Alliance. I always tease they let the bear lady in. So Friday I saw all my friends, including Carol Baskin, at our meeting. So yes.
Fun.
Yes. I'm very excited.
So the bad guy is not one of your friends.
No. No, he said some not so nice things to me.
Mr. Tiger guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
all right, bearsetc.org to get your tickets, and annual bear crawl is Saturday, April 23rd, Sunday, April 24th, noon to 6, $50 each. Let's bring that bear sanctuary to Montgomery County.
yeah.
All right. Thanks, Katie.
Thank you, Margie.